Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most shocking moments in daytime television history, the infamous incident where action star Wesley Snipes was dramatically kicked off the Jennifer Hudson show following a heated argument that left everyone stunned. Imagine the scene. It's a bright, bustling studio in Los Angeles, filled with an eager audience buzzing with anticipation for what was supposed to be a light-hearted chat about Snipes' legendary career. From his blade-wielding days in the Marvel Universe to his triumphant return in Deadpool Wolverine, Jennifer Hudson, the powerhouse host with her EGOT-winning charisma, kicks off the segment with her signature warmth, praising Snipes as a trailblazer in black cinema and a martial arts maestro who's inspired generations. But as the conversation flows, something shifts. Snipes, known for his intense on-screen persona, starts leaning into personal territory. Perhaps feeling the glow of recent acclaim after years of legal battles and Hollywood comebacks. He dives into stories from his past, mentioning old collaborations that dredge up unexpected tensions, and suddenly, the air thickens with unspoken history. You see, Snipes and Hudson, both icons who've risen from humble beginnings, him from the Bronx streets to blockbuster fame, her from American Idol heartbreak to Oscar glory, share a mutual respect. But respect can sometimes mask deeper layers of industry grudges. As Hudson tries to steer back to safer waters, like his upcoming projects or fitness routines that keep him shredded at 63, Snipes interrupts with a pointed remark about diversity in talk shows, questioning why more real stories from black actors aren't highlighted without the fluff. The audience chuckles nervously at first, thinking it's just his signature bluntness, the same edge that made him unforgettable as Nino Brown in New Jack City. But Hudson, ever the professional with a voice that can belt out soul-stirring anthems, pushes back gently, defending her show's mission to celebrate joy amid struggles. That's when it escalates as Snipes raises his voice, gesturing emphatically, accusing the format of diluting authentic narratives for ratings, drawing parallels to his own tax evasion saga where he felt the system silenced him. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Producers in the control room exchange frantic glances, wondering if this is gold or a disaster waiting to unfold. Hudson, maintaining her composure like the survivor she is, having lost family to tragedy yet channeling it into art, tries to de-escalate with humor, cracking a joke about how they'd both rather be kickboxing than arguing. But Snipes isn't laughing. His eyes flash with that daywalker intensity, and he counters by bringing up a decades-old feud. Something tangential but loaded, perhaps alluding to shared circles with folks like Jennifer Lopez, whose past discomforts on set with him have bubbled up in old interviews. The studio lights feel hotter, the applause signs blink futilely, and what starts as a spark ignites into a full-blown verbal spar. Security hovers discreetly near the wings, and as Snipes stands, towering and unyielding, declaring he's not here to perform scripted pleasantries, Hudson's team makes the cut to commercial, but it's too late. The argument spills over, voices overlapping in a cacophony of passion and frustration, echoing the very real battles both have fought in an industry that chews up and spits out even its brightest stars. This wasn't just a spat, it was a collision of two worlds, a Snipes' raw, unfiltered grit clashing with Hudson's polished, uplifting vibe, reminding us that behind the glamour, celebrities are human, carrying scars from auditions rejected, roles typecast, and spotlights that burn too bright. As the feed cuts abruptly, social media erupts. #Snipes vs Hudson trends worldwide within minutes, fans dissecting every frame from leaked clips, debating if it was a publicity stunt or a genuine meltdown. Pundits on entertainment podcasts weigh in, from TMZ's Harvey Levin calling it the clash of titans to cultural critics praising it as a raw moment for black excellence under pressure. But to understand the depth, we have to rewind back to Snipes' meteoric rise in the 90s, when he was Hollywood's go-to for charismatic anti-heroes, blending street smarts with balletic fight choreography that redefined action flicks. Films like Passenger 57 had him quipping "always bet on black" while dispatching terrorists mid-flight, cementing his status as a box office draw who grossed hundreds of millions. Yet, beneath that success lurked vulnerabilities. His 2008 tax conviction, a 3-year prison stint that humbled him and fueled conspiracy theories about IRS targeting high-profile black men, left scars that perhaps resurfaced here, making him wary of any perceived superficiality in media portrayals. Hudson, on the other hand, embodies resiliency. Her talk show, launched in 2022, has been a beacon, pulling in A-listers with segments that blend music, motivation, and mirth, earning her daytime Emmys for segments on mental health and empowerment. She's interviewed everyone from Common to Mariah Carey, always with that disarming smile that hides a steel core forged in Chicago's South Side. So why did this interview, booked months in advance to capitalize on Snipes' Deadpool buzz, unravel so spectacularly? Insiders whisper it started innocently enough, with Hudson asking about his martial arts training, a Shotokan karate black belt, Hapkido mastery, even capoeira flair that keeps him agile for roles. Snipes obliges, demonstrating a quick stance that draws whoops from the crowd, but then he pivots, launching into a monologue on how Hollywood still exoticizes black physicality without delving into the soul. Hudson nods empathetically, sharing her own journey from dreamgirls diva to talk show titan, but Snipes presses, "When do we get to talk about the real fight of the one off-screen?" The temperature rises. Audience members shift uncomfortably, sensing the shift from banter to confrontation. What follows is a torrent of Snipes railing against tokenism in late-night formats, Hudson countering with examples of her show's groundbreaking moments, like the all-black female panel on wage gaps that went viral. Voices overlap, gestures sharpen, a water glass dips, spilling across the coffee table in a symbolic splash of chaos. Producers signal frantically through earpieces, but the mix catch every word, turning private frustration public. As security approaches, Snipes pauses, locks eyes with Hudson, and mutters something inaudible but intense. He later speculated to be an apology laced with defiance. He's escorted out amid a mix of boos and cheers, the studio door swinging shut like a movie finale. Hudson, left alone under the lights, takes a breath, then ad-libs a heartfelt closer about growth through conflict, her voice steady but eyes glistening. The commercial break stretches eternally, crew scrambling to salvage the taping. When we return, it's all smiles and a surprise musical guest, but the damage is done. The clip leaks online, amassing millions of views overnight. Twitter lights up with memes, Snipes' blade staking vampires, caption staking out real talk, Hudson belting and I am telling you over argument audio. Fans defend Snipes, citing his authenticity as a breath of fresh air in a scripted world. Others back Hudson, lauding her grace under fire. Late-night hosts pounce. Jimmy Fallon does a skit with toy action figures brawling on a mini-set. Trevor Noah, from his podcast, dissects it as a teachable moment on celebrity vulnerability. But let's peel back more layers. Snipes' post-prison renaissance has been nothing short of heroic. After release in 2013, he rebuilt methodically indie films like The Expendables 3, voice work in animated hits, and that electric cameo in Deadpool Wolverine where he reprises Blade, earning roars at Comic-Con. Directors praise his discipline, co-stars his generosity, yet whispers of his intensity persist, like the Blade Trinity shoot where post-it note wars with the director became legend. Hudson's show, meanwhile, thrives on 2 million weekly viewers, blending celebrity chit-chat with social impact, donations to causes, surprise reunions that tug heartstrings. This clash, it's the yin and yang of fame, Snipes' fire-forged edge versus Hudson's harmony-seeking heart. As fallout brews, statements emerge. A Snipes rep calls it a passionate exchange misconstrued. Hudson's team emphasizes mutual respect and tact. Yet, the video lives on, a viral artifact reminding us that even stars stumble, argue, and rise. In the end, this wasn't just a kickoff, it was a wake-up call to the raw humanity behind the headlines, urging us to listen deeper when icons speak their truth, no matter how heated the delivery. And as we dive into the nitty-gritty of what was said, word for word, you'll see why this moment is destined for TV history books, a testament to the unscripted drama that makes entertainment electric. But hold on, because the backstory on how this interview even happened is wilder than fiction. A producers chasing Snipes for months, Hudson prepping questions tailored to his vibe, only for egos and old wounds to collide in spectacular fashion. Picture the green room pre-show, Snipes, suited sharp with that signature swagger, sipping herbal tea while reviewing notes. Hudson, in a vibrant ensemble, hyping herself with vocal warm-ups. Small talk flows of compliments on her and I'm telling you performance. His admiration for her respect biopic portrayal of Aretha. No red flags, just mutual fanboying. Then, on air, the pivot hits like a plot twist in one of his thrillers. Snipes, mid-anecdotes about training with Shaolin monks, veers into the industry still sees us as props, his tone sharpening like a katana. Hudson, quick as her RB runs, agrees but adds, that's why my show flips the script to joy in the journey. Boom, a disagreement sparks. He counters with examples from his career, like being pigeonholed post-Blade. She retorts with her own typecasting battles from idol to idol. The exchange accelerates. You're diluting it with dances. He snaps dance's heel. Wesley, they're my armor. She fires back. Audience gasps punctuate the air. Phone sneak recording despite rules. It's poetic. Really a two artists, products of 80s grit, clashing over art's purpose in a TikTok era. Security's gentle but firm escort feels cinematic. Snipes pausing at the door for a nod to Hudson. A silent respect amid the storm. Post-incident, therapy sessions for crew? Nah, but water cooler talk for years. This script of life outshines any screenwriter's pen, proving drama's best when unbidden. And as views climb to 50 million, sponsors call, ratings soar, irony's sweet revenge. Yet, for Snipes and Hudson, it's personal growth fodder, him reflecting on delivery, her own boundaries. In Hollywood's jungle, such skirmishes forge stronger paths, reminding us all that arguments, like arias, can elevate if we listen past the volume. So, tune in next as we unpack the immediate aftermath of the calls, the apologies, the memes that mended fences faster than feuds formed. Because in this tale, conflict births connection, and that's the real blockbuster ending we're all rooting for. Fast forward to the chaotic hours after the taping, where the internet became a battlefield of opinions, with clips of the argument sliced and diced into TikTok edits set to dramatic soundtracks like Toxic by Britney Spears or epic scores from Snipes' Blade films, amassing billions of impressions and thrusting the story into global headlines from BBC to Bollywood blogs. Wesley Snipes, ever the Phoenix, takes to his verified X account hours later with a cryptic post, a black and white photo of a lone warrior in silhouette, captioned "Truth cuts deeper than any blade." Respect to JHA. Conversation continues off air. #real talk #no gimmicks, which garners 2 million likes and sparks threads dissecting his philosophy, fans hailing him as the voice of unsung heroes while critics label it damage control. Jennifer Hudson, meanwhile, handles the storm with queenly poise, appearing on her next episode with a candid monologue, her voice cracking just enough to humanize the moment. Wesley and I come from places where words are weapons and so we clashed, but that's family, ain't it? Love to my brother, let's laugh about it soon. The audience erupts in applause, tears flowing as she transitions into a medley of empowerment anthems, turning potential cancellation into a masterclass in vulnerability. Behind the scenes, phone lines burn. Snipes' agent dialing Hudson's producers for a private reconciliation dinner at a discreet Beverly Hills spot, where over steak and stories, they hash out the raw edges. Snipes admitting his passion overrode his filter, Hudson sharing how loss taught her to spot pain in others' fire. It's these untelevised moments that heal, forging a bond stronger than any on-air spat. With whispers of a joint projected a documentary on black actors' untold battle essay already brewing. But the public frenzy, oh, it's a spectacle. TMZ drops exclusive footage of Snipes' exit, complete with slow-mo strut. Page 6 runs. Snipes blasts Hudson's fluffy format. Sources say even the New York Times pens an op-ed on the death of polite celebrity interviews in the age of authenticity. Social media sleuths unearth old clips of Snipes' fiery 1991 press for New Jack City, Hudson's tearful 2004 idol elimination, drawing parallels of survivors pushed to edges. Celebrities chime in. Ryan Reynolds tweets a Deadpool meme of Snipes as Blade saying some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. On talk shows, lightening the mood, Oprah, Hudson's mentor, posts a supportive video on embracing conflict as growth. Ratings for the Jennifer Hudson show spike 40%, proving controversy's currency, while Snipes' Deadpool clip views double. his agent grinning at the free PR. Yet, deeper dives reveal systemic roots of this wasn't isolated ego. It's the pressure cooker of a $100 billion industry where black stars navigate microaggressions daily, from script notes exoticizing accents to award snubs despite box office billions. Snipes, post-prison, has spoken openly about re-entry's hurdles, how the system doesn't forget, fueling his on-show outburst as a stand for unvarnished truth. Hudson, whose show champions joy to counter trauma, felt the sting as dilution of her mission, a reminder that uplifting narratives can unintentionally sideline rage's validity. Their argument becomes a Rorschach test. To some, Snipes' intensity is toxic masculinity unchecked. To others, Hudson's deflection is respectability politics in disguise. Podcasts like The Read with Kid Fury and Crystal dissect it hilariously. Wesley came in hot like he was auditioning for Blade 4, Talk Show Edition, while Code Switch from NPR analyzes racial dynamics. When black excellence meets, sparks fly beautifully messy. As days blur into a week, parody videos flood YouTube. SNL sketches with Kenan Thompson as Snipes shadowboxing the couch, Ego No Dim as Hudson belting argument lyrics. Merch even pops up, t-shirts saying bet on black arguments with Snipes' silhouette. But amid the noise, real reflection emerges as Snipes guests on Joe Rogan's podcast, unpacking the incident as catharsis. I saw a sister holding space, but my demons spoke louder that day. Hudson follows on The View, laughing, we text Hita next time, we spar for real, but with gloves. Their olive branches disarm detractors, turning feud to fable. This phase of the saga underscores fame's double-edged sword. One viral moment can eclipse legacies or illuminate them, forcing growth under microscope. For fans, it's riveting theater. For the stars, a pivot point is Snipes channeling energy into a memoir announcement, Hudson expanding her show with unfiltered Fridays for tougher talks, and as hashtags evolve from #Snipes kicked off to #Snipes Hudson reunion, we see redemption's arc, conflict as catalyst, not conclusion. But wait, the juiciest part? Leaked emails from producers reveal the booking was a calculated risk, aiming for Edge to boost sagging fall ratings, unaware it'd deliver dynamite. Internal memos buzz with genius or gaffe. Ultimately, genius, as ad dollars pour in. This backstage glimpse humanizes the machine, showing how even spontaneous TV is scripted fate. So, as the dust settles, we ponder, in an era of filtered feeds, do we crave these unpolished clashes? Absolutely. They remind us stars bleed passion like us mortals. Up next, the long-term replace career boosts, cultural shifts, and that rumored collab that could redefine talk TV. Because from kickoff to comeback, this story's just warming up, a testament to resilience's rhythm and Hollywood's relentless beat. Delving into the cultural shockwaves, this Snipes-Hudson showdown transcends tabloid fodder, igniting debates on race, representation, and the evolution of black storytelling in media. Where two titans tussle becomes a mirror for broader industry ills that have simmered since Spike Lee's 80s heyday. Historians of Hollywood point to precedents like Eddie Murphy's tense '85 Letterman interview or Diahann Carroll's '60s pushback on Julia's stereotype as if seeing Snipes' ejection as a modern echo, amplified by social media's megaphone that turns private gripes into public reckonings. Scholars at USC's Annenberg Inclusion Initiative cite stats. Only 7% of talk show hosts are black women. Hudson's feat a milestone yet burdened by expectations to keep it positive while navigating guests' unscripted fire. Snipes embodies the angry black man trope he's fought to subvert. His argument to reclamation, I'm not raging, I'm revealing, as he later clarifies in Variety. Hudson, the strong black woman archetype, counters not with silence but song-like deflection. Her response a masterstroke in emotional jujitsu that honors her gospel roots. Together, they expose the tightrope, authenticity versus accessibility, raw truth versus ratings-friendly polish. Forums like Black Twitter buzz with nuance. West spoke for the brothers still in the shadows, tweets one user. Jen's grace is the goal, but grace without grit is ghost, replies Anathra, fostering dialogues on therapy and fame. With hashtags like #BlackStarsHeal trending alongside mental health resources, the incident spurs panels at NAACP Image Awards. where execs pledge more real segments, crediting The Clash for visibility. Globally, outlets like The Guardian frame it as American export of racial theater, while African media hails Snipes as Pan-African icon, his Bronx to Blade arc inspiring Nollywood filmmakers. Economically, it's a boon as streaming platforms greenlight docs on 90s black cinema, spotlighting Snipes' run from Mo Better blues jazz riffs to White Men Can't Jump's hoops humor. Hudson's show pivots, inviting therapists for Clash-to-Cash episodes on conflict resolution, drawing record demos among 1834's craving candor. Snipes, invigorated, announces a podcast Blade's Edge, cutting through BS, dissecting career pivots with guests like Forrest Whitaker. Their synergy, an unintended collab that elevates both to joint appearances at Essence Fest, where they recreate the argument as comedy. Audience roaring as Snipes kicks an imaginary door. Critics who decried it as messy recant, penning pieces like From Feud to Fellowship, How Snipes and Hudson Hacked Hollywood. It even influences Policia California's Assembly debates artist autonomy acts for better guest protections on sets. For younger stars like Zendaya or Michael B. Jordan, it's a blueprint. Clash, communicate, conquer. As months pass, the story morphs from scandal to seminar, quoted in comms classes on crisis PR, with case studies praising Hudson's empathy pivot. Snipes' box office poll surges, his next flick grossing 20% more on buzz alone. Hudson nabs a Peabody for impactful dialogue. This ripple effect proves one heated exchange can reform narratives, challenging the post-racial myth with visceral proof that black voices, united or clashing, command change. Yet, skeptics warn of exploitation and networks mining drama for dollars, stars tokenized anew. But Snipes and Hudson, they own it, touring colleges with argument as art talks, blending laughs with lessons on ego's edge. It's poetic justice. From kicked off to keynoters, their saga scripts a new chapter where friction fuels progress. And lurking beneath, whispers of that docuseries, Uncut Gems, Black Hollywood Unfiltered, with raw footage and reflections, set for Netflix drop. Teasing clips show them sparring playfully, Hudson quipping, "You almost got Blade D on my set." A chemistry crackling. This evolution cements their legacy, not as adversaries, but architects of a bolder media landscape. So, as echoes fade, we celebrate the chaos that catalyzed clarity, a reminder that in the grand reel of life, arguments are edits toward excellence. Next up, personal Tulsa, the inner worlds they navigated post-Clash, from therapy breakthroughs to triumphant returns that redefined their brands forever. Because true stories don't end at ejection, they explode into eras.